The Honourable House Leader for the New Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In April of 2005, the Nova Scotia government under John Ham introduced the province's first gaming strategy. Our NDP government updated the strategy in 2011 to ensure a responsible, sustainable and accountable approach to gambling problem, research and governance. That strategy hasn't been updated for 7 years, Mr. Speaker. We know that the majority of Nova Scotians partake in some form of gambling on a regular basis, and for that, some gambling is risky activity that cause harm not only to the gamblers, but to their friends, families and communities. Mr. Speaker, my question for the Minister of Finance: why hasn't the government updated the provincial gaming strategy to continue this important work?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and if you can tolerate my voice, I would be happy to answer. It's true that the strategy was introduced in 2005. In 2006, there was an assessment program put in place, which meant that there would be ongoing assessment of new products and new programs, and that continues throughout the duration of the strategy. 2011, it was updated, and as I said in my previous response earlier in question period, the ongoing strategy provides a guide for any government as they move through, keeping in mind that, of course, the protection of the players and those involved in the gaming are always protected. We need to make sure that it's not risky, that it is safe, and as part of the assessment program, any issues that come forward either from a user or from an employer who may have a VLT machine in their premises, those come as part of the assessment and are followed up immediately.
The Honourable House Leader for the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, when the strategy was being updated in 2011, many stakeholders were concerned about gambling advertising and marketing. We put in regulated advertising standards, and these standards reflect the current best practices for advertising and marketing of gambling products and services. Mr. Speaker, while I was watching the evening news recently, I saw an ad for Take 5, the gambling network support network. But immediately following that was an ad for Casino Nova Scotia, Mr. Speaker. So it made me think, is it time to update the strategy? So I'd like to ask the Minister, will the Minister commit to updating the strategy and commission a review on the Code of Advertising Standards by responsible gaming experts?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And the situation that the member raises was a very unfortunate situation. The sequence of those advertisements should never have been the sequence that we saw. We immediately contacted the network. They recognized that that was their error. We have an agreement through CNS with the advertisement, and at no time is that sequence ever to be as it was presented. So I thank the member for bringing that to our attention, and we certainly have responded to that. It is unfortunate. It is not something we would promote. It should never have happened.